My name is Ethan and I'm the creator of the Poultry Hub. In this video, we're going to give a tutorial on registering for your first show and adding birds to your registration, as well as how to complete your payment. This is going to be the first of two videos. This video will focus on making a registration from your computer. The second video will focus on how to do it from within your smartphone. So to start, we're going to sign into our account. If you don't wish to create an account, you can still register for the show, but you're going to lose out on a lot of the features that having an account has. So once we log in, we'll see the exhibitor homepage, and we'll see we don't have any shows here, and that's because we haven't registered for any shows yet. So to start, we can click Browse Shows, and that'll show us the shows that are available to us. If you followed the link directly to your show, you might see a page that looks similar to this instead. Once we're on this page, we can create a registration. So for that, we'll click Register for this show. All of your personal information should be pre-populated in this form, and you can change it up however you need to for your actual registration for the show. Remember to select the right competition category, junior show or open show, and then we can click Continue to Bird Entries. This is the page where we update or create our registration, where we list all the different birds we're bringing to the show. If you have any questions about the pricing information, you can click the View Pricing button, and that'll show you a breakdown structure of all the payments for entry fees, as well as a sample calculation on how your entry fees are calculated. So let's start by adding some birds to the show. We'll start with the bantams, and let's add a few Cornish. And my favorite color of Cornish is blue, so we'll add a couple of those. Let's do a cock and a hen, and then maybe a young trio. Then we can click Add Bird to Entries, and we'll see down here we have our entries for this show, as well as the total price for those entries. If you made an error or wanted to change something, you can simply click the Remove button and then recreate that registration. We also can add double coops for this show. So for instance, let's add some silver spangled Hamburgs. And because they have large tails, we like to keep them in double coops. And let's just enter one cock for the silver spangled Hamburgs. Now we can click Add Bird to Entry. And we'll see down here, our total is 7, which is $5 for the entry fee and $2 for the double coop, which we can see by looking at our show pricing information. We can remove that for now, and let's suppose we wanted to enter a non-recognized variety of a breed. For instance, Tolbunt Polish. We can start by typing in Polish, and then under variety, if we start typing Tolbunt, we'll see that that's not an option there. So instead we can create the variety ourselves. So we're going to type out Tolbunt, and then click Create Tolbunt. And that's basically an acknowledgement that the variety you're entering is not a recognized variety. And let's just do one pullet. And we can see down here we have the Tolbunt Polish. If you wish to enter pigeons, it's a very similar flow with one small caveat. So let's enter some Modena pigeons. Now, we don't have all of the pigeon varieties in our database because there's such a wide variety. So you likely will need to specify the variety yourself. For instance, we'll do Black Ghazi. And then, like we did with the Tolbunt, we'll click Create Black Ghazi to acknowledge that we're creating a non-recognized breed, a variety that's not currently in our show database. Now we need to select a pigeon class. A lot of shows will use a 3-class pigeon division, and in this case, we choose between sport, utility, or show. Modenas are definitely in the show pigeon class, so we'll select show there. If you have any questions about which class your pigeons belong in, feel free to reach out to your show secretary. And then from there, we can enter some pigeons. And we'll see down here, we've got one cock entered. So for now, I'm just going to remove the Modena and keep just the Polish, and then we'll continue to review. So once we have all of our birds listed out, we can then look at the add-ons that are allowed for the show. In this example, we have an advertisement which costs $100 or a sale area which costs $65. If we wanted to add a sale area to our entry, we can simply click and we'll see under selected add-ons we have a sale area. If we wanted to add 2 sale areas, we can simply click again and get an additional one. If we wanted an advertisement, we can click there. And we can simply click the trash button to remove those. You'll also notice as we add optional add-ons, our total amount due is being updated. We can also enter sale cages if we wanted to at $10 each. So we could add 5 sale cages if we wanted to, and you can see our total increase by $50. Next, we'll go through completing your payment. So here we can see that the show is charging a 3% PayPal processing fee to help them recoup their costs from PayPal. And so we can click Submit Registration. And then we can click the Pay with PayPal button, which will redirect us to a PayPal payment window. From here, we can log in. And then we can complete our purchase. And then we can click Return to Merchant, which will take us back to the Poultry Hub. And now we can go and return to the show or go to our exhibitor home. It'll take a few seconds for the payment to register with the system. And so here we see we're back to our exhibitor homepage, but now we have an upcoming show. We have the first show that we just registered for. If we click Show Details, we can see our registration information. We can see that our entry fee has been collected because our registration is marked as paid. And we see pending here because the show secretary hasn't accepted our registration yet. Now, suppose you made a small error in your registration and need to make a correction. Let's say you meant to enter 2 hens instead of a cock and a hen. As long as the show secretary hasn't accepted your registration yet, which means this still says pending here, we can simply click the registration and make any updates we need to. If you wanted to update a breed or variety, you can simply click them and make any changes you wanted to. And then make sure you click Save Bird and save changes afterwards. These changes will be reflected in your registration as well. Suppose you wanted to add an additional entry. Let's say we wanted to add 1 Black East Indie. So we click Save Birds, we see it updated on this list, and then we click Save Changes to update our account. Then if we refresh our page, we see that now our payment status is only partially paid. And that's because we just added an additional entry that we haven't paid for. And we can see in parentheses here that our balance is $5. Once we've done that, we can click the Pay Balance with PayPal button to pay our entire account's outstanding balance. And this is super useful. Suppose you have a family and want to have all the registrations under a single account. You can go back to the show page and add a new registration for the show. So let's add Ethan Pullen Jr. to the show. And we'll just add a Black Sumatra Bantam. So we add our bird entry, we can continue to review, we'll submit our registration, and then we'll opt to pay later. So now we can see we have 2 registrations here. And then when we're ready to register for the show, if we want to pay all of our balances at once, we can click this button here and pay all of our balances due in one single payment instead of having to do individual payments. This video was a guide for registering for your first show. I hope it was useful, and I hope everyone has a great time using the Poultry Hub platform. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you all in the next video.